We fell into a burning ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. Whew, it's hot here, guys. I mean, hot, hot, hot. I was just outside in the garden and doing a little stuff. I already had to give everything water because it was getting pretty droughty looking out there. And it was 92 real temperature and 100 feels like, man. And all the rainstorms just keep going around us and past us, and nothing's stopping here. Ain't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
But
it's feeling hot, hot,
yeah,
hot.
it's hot. I went out to the garden and collected a few things, so we're going to title this one Dinner from Our Garden. And as Penguin said in the last video last night, we had to run to Walmart again and grab a few things, and it was kind of late when we got back. So I was going to show you a few things I got you might look for at your stores. And of course, meat is always, one of them things you don't know about, but these are flanking ribs, short ribs beef, and I love them. You can see right there, it says save, sorry about that, $6.31, they were $5.17, so just a little bit over $1 a piece, and they're pretty good looking meaty ribs. I usually like taking them out and cooking them over charcoal or wood, because I like that flavor, but it's just too hot to stand outside and do that today, guys. And then they had a whole bunch of seasonings marked down. We've never tried these before. This is Kinder Seasoning Wood-Fired Garlic. And I opened that up when we got home, and it is amazing smelling. You can smell the wood smoke and the garlic in it.
They were $2.50 a jar.
Yeah, $2.50 a jar for a, how big a jar is it? 6-ounce jar. It's pretty heavy. And I also got a buttery steak one that I didn't get out. It's up in the cabinet. I thought I'd try it on the steaks. And they had a bunch of little packets out, like this big 1 ounce. And they had carne asada and taco seasonings. They were down to 50 cents a piece on those. They were 1 ounce packets. So I grabbed a few of each of those. And Penguin found this here. We're going to use this tonight. Sesame ginger teriyaki.
All of my favorite flavors.
Bibi Bop Asian Grill. Sesame ginger. And this was $1.
Yeah, it was $1.
It was the only one they had. We bought it. And then we're going to have some rice, just plain white rice cooked in a rice cooker. And as you can see here in the background, I had me a Pepsi frozen in the freezer. That's what I've been drinking on. But this is what I got out of the garden today, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Some of them are not real big yet. I got 7 of my jalapenos off my jalapeno press. I think that's about the biggest one. But these are early jalapenos. They don't get really big anyway. And I grabbed a couple of stalks of lemongrass.
They're small stalks.
Yeah, they're small stalks yet. But we're going to go ahead and I'm going to mush those up. And I'm going to use them in our vegetables we're cooking. And a little bit, I'm going to try it in a cup of tea. I know you're supposed to use, I'm going to roll these up and save them till they dry to cook in when I boil tea. I'm trying to put this a little piece in some hot tea today. And there's what I did on my raspberries today. I think we got, about a pint and a half so far. We got about over a quart of blueberries and about a pint and a half of raspberries. And I got just a little bit of cilantro to put in there. Like I said, a lot of my cilantro is going to seed. It'll turn into coriander. And I had a big onion out there that I planted off of a bad onion. And I've already got the seeds off of it. And this is one of the big stems that was left. And it smells really good.
Yeah, really oniony. I'm
going to snip that down and put that in while we're having tonight. And I needed to thin my green onions out. You can see I got 2 little baby green onions there that are growing. I got about 15 or 20 of them out there like that. Plus I just started 2 more pans.
They're teeny tiny.
But I figured they'd add just a little bit of green onion flavor. And some of these jalapenos, since I collected them already, I'm going to can them tonight. If you like prepping or just canning stuff, I bought these marked down at a Walmart in Terre Haute, I believe. They were $4 for a dozen of them. They're the half pint size. So I'll show you guys how to make refrigerator jalapenos with those. And you can make them hot. You can make them milder if you like. And then the big thing, I went out and got like 6 of our baby choys. You can see them laying there. They are pretty big. So I've never ate choy I've grown myself. And I've never had just the leaves. So I'm going to try to see what the leaves taste like and see if it's good for salad. But the bottom part is what we're going to cook tonight. I'll be right back, guys. Sorry about that, guys. But we're going to cut the bottoms off. We're going to clean them. And then I'm going to put them in my rice pan that I usually do stir fry in. And that's what we're going to have tonight is stir fry. Stir fried vegetables, white rice, and the flank and ribs. And I am going to taste test the leaves. You can see I've used organic insecticide and stuff. It's been pretty good, but as you can see, a few bugs there have got a hold of a few of the leaves on these. This is the only thing I've had chewed on. My tomatoes are going so. The two that have got big enough to get tomatoes on them already, the beefsteaks, probably have between 15 and 25 a piece. And I give up counting on the cherry one. There's probably 100 cherry tomatoes on that cherry tomato tree now, but none of them are starting to ripen yet. So when I get stuff in the skillet and everything, and I'll show you a little bit, we'll be right back. Okay guys, I got all the bokchoy we're going to use pulled off. You see it looks like celery. I saved a few of the leaves. We tried them. They taste pretty good, so I'm going to dice some of that up real fine into our stuff. Here's lemongrass part right here. And I thought, well, I already got my cold salt water, so I'll go ahead and soak it for just a little bit too, and then I'll hang it up and let it dry out to save for tea. And I went ahead and threw our onions in there. And I usually don't, I just rinse the jalapenos off, but I thought, well, I already got them, so I'll go ahead and throw them in there too. So the next thing I'll do is I'll get started on our ribs. Okay, we're back, guys. And here is those flanking ribs that I purchased marked down. They were usually $11.48. I got them for $5.17. This is one of my favorite kind of ribs there is. You can cook these outdoors, char them a little bit. They're really good. But like I said, it's just too hot here today. But basically here I got the pot for the Ninja. And I'm going to season these and add some liquid. And then we're going to pressure cook them in the Ninja. And then we're going to take that lid off and put the air crisp lid on. The closest I could find was a slab of ribs. So what you're supposed to do is you season them, you put them in your pot, you put in a half a cup of water, you pressure cook them on high for, I believe it says 19 minutes. And then you do a quick release, and you pat your meat dry, and then you put it on air fryer at 400 for 10 to 15 minutes. So you put your sauce on it and then put it on air fry. So basically what I'm going to do is here I got some onion powder. Onion powder, a little garlic powder, and that new Kinder seasoning I told you guys about. Oop, I gotta take the rest of the white lid off of it. Give me just a second, guys. It's really good. It's got a sweet barbecue-y smell to it, a little bit of little woody. So we're gonna sprinkle on some of that. Flip it over. Sprinkle both sides. Got to pat the other side. I usually take my hand and I kind of pat the seasoning in so it sticks a little better. Yeah, it seems to stay on pretty good. I'll take and lay that down in my pot like that. And I'm going to add a half a cup of water, and I'm going to add a spoonful of this Allegro hickory smoked marinade. Got to be real careful how much you put because it's pretty strong. We caught this on sale, I don't know, somewhere a long time ago, but I got like 8 bottles of it put back. So when I get all the meat put in there and get it going, we'll be back with the next thing we're doing, guys. There you go, guys. I got them standing up in the pot. We have a rack, but I think they'll stay up all right by their own. But I've got my half a cup of water and about a teaspoon of that Allegro smoke seasoning down there. I'm going to get them put in the pot. Okay guys, I got the ribs are cooking. Penguin come down and help me slice up the jalapenos and stuff. Now here they are, all but one. I saved one for using in the baby choy. There's the little jalapeno I got diced up, no seeds, and a little bit of cilantro I got for seasoning in our meal tonight. But we're going to make a small jar of jalapenos to keep in your refrigerator. So basically what you do is, especially if this is a half a pint, I got about a quarter of a cup of water. I got white vinegar. See the white vinegar there. And I'm going to put about a quarter of a cup of white vinegar in there. And then since I cannot have things too hot, we're going to take a tablespoon of sugar. You can add as little or as much sugar as you want. The more sugar you add, the less hot your peppers are going to be. Because we already removed the seeds because of me. We might make some more later on. Like I said, they stay good like 2 to 3 months in the refrigerator once you do them. You can add carrots to them. Like I said, we like a little onion in ours. But you're going to take this and you're going to pour that in your little pot. Just like so. Sugar out of there. So I got a little bit of sugar left in the bottom. Let me scrape that out a little better. Sorry guys. And I get a little bit more of this sugar out of it. Like so. And you're going to take you some garlic. You can use fresh garlic, that's what they recommend, but we don't have any fresh in right now, so I've got the old standby. And I got about a level spoonful, if you leveled it out, of garlic and some of the garlic juice. Stir that all down in there. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take that over to the stove, put your lid on it, and you're going to bring it to a low boil. When it gets to a low boil, you're going to bring your veggies over, dump them in, put the lid back on it, turn the heat off. And you're going to let it set and cool for a while. Then you take and you pick your peppers and onions and your other vegetables out, and you put in a little jar, and then you take the liquid out and you pour that over the top until it's all covered. Put the lid on it, put it in the refrigerator. I recommend letting it set 2 to 3 days, then it'll have some flavor, but it'll stay good in your refrigerator like that. I don't know, it's 2 to 3 months, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, about 2 to 3 months, and you'll have peppers that way for 2 to 3 months. It's an easy way to do it without actually having to get the canning stuff out and can them, where they'll stay good for years. And before I go and I start doing that here, I said I got my ribs going, I got to get started on the vegetables. We bought these at the Walmart in Vincennes the other day. They're called donut peaches, flat out sweet. And this is what one of them looks like, really flat. Looks almost like a sweet onion, or
looks like a cake donut.
Yeah, cake donut or a flat tomato. They are so sweet and juicy and tender. Never had anything like it. Well,
Best peaches I've ever had.
Yeah, best peaches ever had. And like I told the girls there at Martin's Midlife Adventure, Amy and Ashley, I just put some apricot seeds in to see if I can get them to germinate and grow stems or roots. I'm gonna send them a couple. Well, I already have the pits out of 3 of these. They say you can do the same thing. And we have 2 regular peach trees I planted last year, but I'm going to see if I can get 4 of them to germinate too. If I can get all 4 of them to germinate to where I got 2, I'll send 2 of those to the girls too. That way they can plant them a couple of these peach trees because these are just delicious. Okay, I'm going to get this going and I'll bring you back when I got the vegetables cooking. Okay guys, we're back and you can see I got my little pan of jalapenos. It came to a boil, the vinegar and the oil, the vinegar, the water, the sugar, and I'm going to take those out. I got my handy dandy little tongs. I'm going to take those out and set them down in here, and then I'm going to take and pour the broth or the vinegar on top until they're covered. You like my little tongs? I got them at Walmart. I don't know what, they were like 97 cents, weren't they?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. They're just kind of cute. Like I said, you can put onion. I got garlic in here. You can add broccoli, cauliflower. You could put baby carrots in it. Any kind of a hard type vegetable I think would be okay in here. Like I said, this is the first batch of jalapenos we got out of our garden this year, so I don't think they're going to be real hot yet anyway, but yeah, basically there you go. I got them all down in there, and then I'm just going to take that broth with the garlic and everything down in it, and I'm going to pour it all down in there. I'm going to push them down. Could have used just a little bit more liquid in it. You see it's not quite even with the top, but pretty close. Pretty close. A little bit boiled away on me because I was busy doing something and it started steaming, but you get the idea. And then you're going to seal the lid on it real tight. Don't have to do anything to it but just put it in the refrigerator, let it set 2 or 3 days, and they're ready to start eating. They're really good. You really got to try this. So I'm gonna get back to supper, and I'll be right back to show you what to do. Okay, guys, I'm back. You can see I got everything cut up here. There's our jalapeno and our cilantro. There's the green onions, the onion stalk from out in the garden, and I had about half of a real onion I went ahead and cut up. And I did the baby choy 3 ways. I got it in chunks, I got it in strips like little noodles, and I'll put that in last. I cut it like cabbage to cook at the end. There's my lemongrass. You see I tied it knot so I can find it, and I smashed it out. And I'm going to put some garlic in this and some bibimbap. I got a couple tablespoons of olive oil, plus I sprayed my pan with some butter spray. So I'm going to go put a tablespoon of my garlic in and get started. And I'll bring you over here when it's cooking, and I'll show you how I'm going to do the meat. Okay, guys, I'm back again. I got the white part. I put all down in there with a couple teaspoons of oil, a heaping spoonful of garlic, like I told you earlier. I've added a little salt and pepper to it. I let that cook for about 10 minutes, and I kept stirring it, leaving the lid off. About 2 or 3 minutes ago, I put in the green part and the rest of the green onion. And I decided we got mushrooms in the refrigerator, some bellas. So I went ahead and grabbed 3 bellas and sliced it. You can see there on the top. I'm going to stir this all around here in just a second, and then turn it down a little lower, and then I think we'll be ready to add our sauce. I'm going to season our meat up and get it put back in the Ninja here in a second. I'll show you what I'm going to do on that. Okay, guys, we're back over at the table. Now, you know, earlier I showed you I put a little liquid smoke and water in the Ninja, and I sprinkled this Kinder barbecue wood fire garlic seasoning on it. Well, I already did the other side. I took them out when they were done. I patted them dry. I let them cool down. I put some Kinder on it, and then I put some Sweet Baby Ray's and some Famous Dave's barbecue sauce. I love the combination too. So I'm going to do the same thing this side. I thought I'd just show you a piece real quick. Just takes a moment. Don't have to be all fancy about it or nothing, but just take a little bit of the powder there. It sticks a little bit when you bring it out. Sprinkle a little bit of that on. Nice thing about the Sweet Baby Ray's, they have a squeeze top on them. Turn the bottle over. This bottle's getting kind of low. Come on. Got that on there. And then Famous Dave's Devil Spit. This is like my favorite. I can't eat it straight out. It's too hot. You see at the top it says, "For adults only, XXX hot." It's not that hot, but it is pretty darn hot. If you've never been to a Famous Dave's and eat, that's one of them things you like to do. I got a little heavy on that one, but you get the picture. That's all I do. I just mix all that stuff together. Make sure it's coated all over good. Like so. Try to get along the edges as best you can. Like I said, I already did the other side. I get the other 4 done. I'm going to put them back in the Ninja, and I'm going to put it on air fry, high, 400 degrees for 10 to 15 minutes. I like them. I'm going to let them get to where they get this little char on them, because that's the way I like them. Okay, guys, I got my flanking ribs in. I got about 8 minutes left. I got them seasoned on both sides. This is what the baby choy, mushrooms, onion, lemongrass all looks like. Now, see, it's cooked down quite a bit. I didn't cut up all the white I brought in. I put some of it in a gallon Ziploc bag and put it in the refrigerator. I still got to pick the baby choy out here, or the lemongrass when it's all done. But you see, there's probably enough there. Oh, you could get 4 helpings if you had 4 people. Of course, we'll have some leftovers probably, but that's okay. But it's ready to add the bibimbap, and we've never tried this before. We did smell it when I opened it, and it's got a really good smell. All right, guys, smell that. So I'm going to go around and put maybe about a half a cup in, like so. Maybe a little bit more than half a cup. And we'll probably really love this stuff. And there was only 2 bottles. We should have bought both bottles, and we didn't, since it was only $1 a bottle. But we're going to stir that in. This would be great if you were cooking it with, if you had noodles to add to it, or anything like that. Or just like this, you could cook some meat up and put your meat in the vegetables. I'm going to spread it out here in my wok, like so. Everything's really cooked done anyway. And I'm going to let it sit there and just cook for a while and watch the moisture. When the moisture content gets down to where there's not much left, then I'm going to shut it off. And we'll be back and I'll show you the completed plate. Okay guys, there's our dinner tonight. The flank and ribs with the dry seasoning and the 2 sauces mixed. Just some white rice and the baby choy with mushrooms and onions and cilantro and a jalapeno thrown in it. You can see what it looks like there. Give you kind of a close-up. I cooked the ribs long enough to get a little char on them like I like. Put that bibimbap sauce we've never tried before on there. There's what it looks like. We're having some of the new Mountain Dews tonight. She's having that pineapple one she likes, and I'm having punch. Baja Punch. It's pretty good too. You like it?
Yeah, it's good.
So that's what we're having tonight for dinner. If you want the exact instructions on how to cook that baby choy, just leave it in the comment section and we can put it in there. I was just showing you this, and earlier the little jalapenos, if you guys like the canned little jalapenos and stuff like that. So see you guys later. Have a good night.
Bye, guys.